Hello, Zippora, and welcome to your 20-minute chart overview. So within this session, I'm going to look at three core parts of your chart. So this is your unique self, which is your true self. So this is how different you are than anyone else. This is looking into your definition, the colored in areas of your chart. We'll also look into your not self. So these are the white open spaces within your chart. This is where your mind is talking to you from. It's where your challenges and your vulnerabilities, as well as your biggest lessons in life are. It's where your defense mechanisms are, what we are talking about in our mind that's taking us off track. But we'll look also into the wisdoms and some of the permissions that we can take from these centers as well. And then we'll look into how to interrupt that mind, which is chatting to us. And we'll use strategy and authority to interrupt that process of the mind so you can align back to your unique self. So, Zippora, from your chart, we can see that you are a 4-6 splenic projector. Okay. You also have a single definition, which is one continuous flow of energy. So what does this all mean? How are you unique compared to anyone else and any other projector? So within your chart, we'll start with the biggest thing, that you are here as a projector with a focus on other people. Your aura zooming in, focusing in, penetrating in, and absorbing lots and lots of information about people. And this is where you will find your success, your ability to look outwards than yourself. Now, for you, there's a big sensitivity. You can see all of the openness, the white areas within your chart. So there is a real sensitivity to all of these different information points about people, where people want to go, what they should be doing, how they're feeling, their energy levels, what they're thinking, what they are communicating, if they're even telling the truth. You can pick up all of this. So specifically as this type of projector, there's a real, almost overwhelming sensitivity to people and environments. And it's going to be so important to be in those right places with those right people so you can align in the correct way for yourself. But your grounding comes from, who is that person? That's where you find your projector success. That feeling of contentment that you are being seen and recognized, and it's a feeling of alignment. And when you are forcing or pushing or focusing inwards too much, there is this theme of bitterness, which is a signpost to say, I'm forcing something, or something is out of balance here. I'm trying to be seen, I'm trying to be recognized, and it's causing me bitterness. It's a signpost for you. So your projected success, projectors being very intuitive about people, being able to read people, to know things about people before they even recognize it in themselves, be ahead of the game a lot of the time. Specifically for you, you're a very instinctive projector, instinctively knowing things, instinctively knowing how to empower. In your wisdom, there's an instinctive ability to be able to communicate in a very effective way. Be able to tune in to that person to get the information and just know exactly what words are going to hit. And for you, there is this individuality that you are going to need to do your own thing. You're going on your own path. You are driven to take these instinctive risks about things. And I'm sure for you, there are lots of times in life where it feels like it's a struggle and a push. But there's this drive within you to push through those struggles and to keep going. I like to use the word tenacious, this tenacity within you to keep going on your own path. By you being on your own path, inspires your networks, it empowers your networks. Now, as you move through life, it's going to get easier and easier, especially as you tune into this instinctual knowing. But there is this instinctive drive to take risks over something, because for you, it's about finding purpose. And again, we're all looking for this somewhat, but there is this taking risks because it's worth it, because it's going to lead to something, or is something that you feel is your purpose. It's taking risks. And the fear within this is feeling like you're not going to find purpose before the end. So that is your driving force. I'm going to fight because it's a bad fate. For me, I feel that if I don't find my purpose, I just, I've got to find it. And you going on your path and you making the correct decisions, making these instinctive decisions, like what we will speak about later on, will lead you in a very, very unique direction. A unique direction which can really empower and disempower groups of people as well. By you stepping into your authentic self, there is a potential through life to be a role model to others. And this is all through you seeing outside of yourself, waiting for these invitations and accepting or declining the invitations, which will take you on your path, which will take you towards purpose. And your tenacity, your struggle through things, even though it might feel hard sometimes, is what is going to take you there. Now, your mind, however, is coming from all of these open spaces. So we know you've got two defined centers. You've got the root and the spleen, but you've got 7 undefined or open centers. You've got the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the G, the throat, the ajna, and the head. And the one that really stands out to me is the sacral center, because it's completely open, while the other ones are just undefined. So although you're here for that unique self, finding your individual empowerment, finding your purpose, pushing on through in life and going on a very unique direction, your mind, on the other hand, will be saying, yeah, but I've just got to keep going and I've got to prove myself and I don't even know where I'm going. And I feel like I'm an imposter in a lot of these different environments. But I've got to be noticed. I've got to be seen. So I've got to make sure that I'm with the right people and I'm going to the right places so that I'm seen, because I'm certain if I find that right person, if I find that person that recognizes me and sees me, then I'll find my success. I'll prove to myself that I'm in the right place, that I'm going on the right path. But I've got to keep going. And I don't want to disappoint. I can't let people down. I don't want to let myself down. I want to try and find how I can enjoy life. I want to feel happy in life. I need to action these thoughts, these inspiration, because when I action these thoughts and push through, that's how I find my material success. And success is money, right? So if I have enough money, if I have enough material items, then I'll feel satiated. And to do that, society says, I've got to run this race. So I'm going to keep running this race. I'm going to go faster. I'm going to do more than anyone else. I'm going to keep pushing to prove to others and to myself that I'm going in the right place. And I'm just going to keep kind of stabbing in the dark. I'm going to really fight for something which I think is my purpose, and therefore it will take me to this place because I know that that is where I need to get to. This is not serving you. This is not going to bring you into unique alignment. This is what we call your not self, and we're going to explore this more deeply. Okay, these things, these narratives are what lead you to that feeling of bitterness, ultimately not being seen and not being recognized because we're forcing life. And so much of this is about surrendering to this. And there is a big surrenderment piece within your chart. There's a lot of sensitivities, this instinctive element of your chart. There's a lot of surrenderment that's needed here to what life brings. So we'll start with that sacral because it's completely open. One of your biggest conditioning points. Here, we don't know how much energy we have, how much energy it's going to take. We keep going, we keep moving fast, and we're comparing ourselves to everyone else around us, trying to keep up. So we are the last ones there. We keep on going. We run the same race because we feel like it's lazy otherwise. We feel like our success is dependent on how productive we are. So if we don't work 12 hours a day, if I don't put all the hours into my business, if I don't give this person all of my time, whatever it is, if I don't put this much effort in, then I'm not going to be successful. But what it means is you put all this energy in, you stay longer than you have the energy for, you burn out, and your body physically stops you. It manifests physically in your body. It can be debilitating in the sense that, well, I thought pushing hard was the thing to do, but now my body's physically stopping me. And now I need to rest. So we don't want that as a projector. Here we're learning within the center our energetic boundaries, our energy boundaries. How much energy do I have? And while you do have energy within your chart, this root center is an energy center, a motor, I should say. It is a motor center. It's inconsistent. So when you have some energy, yeah, go. But it's not consistent energy. And this has to be thought about within our day-to-day routines, making sure we get time outside of aura of others. Because when we're in aura with others, with 70% of the world being generators, we are amplifying this generator energy. It can feel like we're on a sugar high. Like, yeah, we can keep going. I can keep going. We get home, we get tired. We realize we're burnt out. So taking space for you, the question here is, do I know when enough is enough? So learning when enough is enough for your energy. Learning what feels right for you. And it might not be a consistent thing for you. It won't be a consistent thing for you. Routines might not work. And that's okay. That's the permission I want to give you. It doesn't have to fit into what society says it has to be. We'll go to the solar plexus next. These are our emotions. Where we're speaking about energy boundaries, we're now speaking about emotional boundaries. This is where we need to put in our emotional boundaries around what we say yes to, because we can say yes or no based on people pleasing. Not wanting to disappoint, not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to cause arguments, not wanting to tell that person the truth, because if we tell them the truth, it will upset them. Because for us, we can be incredibly empathic. We can feel into the emotions, and we feel that emotion so strongly. And those memories of those amplified emotions keep us stuck. Now, because of this amplification of emotion, the wisdom is just to watch the emotions pass and not to take them on and attach to them, just to watch, just they are what they are. But in the not self, you're avoiding truth, you're avoiding conflict, and you're doing so because you're making emotional decisions. I'm going to avoid this because it's going to cause this emotion. Or I'm going to do this because it will cause this emotion, make them feel really happy. So I'm going to do this. Or I'm not going to accept this job because I think it's going to upset me. Whatever it is, chasing happiness, avoiding sadness, not wanting to upset people are all within this, and it all falls within that category of people pleasing. So for you, it's going to be really important to put your emotional boundaries in place, to learn to say yes to the things that your instinct is saying yes to through invitations, and say no to the other things, even if it's going to disappoint, even if it's going to cause conflict. Not letting the chatter of the mind take you off track with that. The heart center is about our sense of self-worth, our willpower, our ego, material possessions. This is learning that we are innately worthy, but we're not born with this feeling. It feels like we have to do something to be worthy, that we have to become better, to do more qualifications, to do whatever it is to become worthy. So we do more courses, we buy more outfits, we chase money, all of this stuff. But actually, we are innately worthy, and chasing this stuff isn't going to get us to success. Society says to us, well, for us to be successful, we need to initiate ideas. We need to, with the ideas here, we need to initiate something. We need to keep pushing to prove that we're worthy of that money, accepting less than we deserve. So it's learning that we are innately worthy, that we don't have to commit all of this power because we know our energy is inconsistent. Therefore, we can't commit the same energy levels each day. Okay. The G center is about identity, love, and direction. The biggest questions here are, who am I? Where am I going? Who's coming with me? It's like our compass. So we can feel a little bit lost here because we can't see it, because it seems like it's not there. So it can be very disorientating. This who am I is trying to find which box I fit into. What is my label? What is my identity? That includes jobs, right? Direction. Where's my destination? What am I here to do? Am I just this? I don't feel like this. I don't even know what my next step is sometimes. And love, becoming very preoccupied with, well, who's going to love me? Is it my parents? Is it my family? Is it romantic love? Is it my friends? Like, who's going to love me? I need to find love. Someone to walk this path with me. And this is where our mind can become preoccupied with. Now, the wisdom here is that with this type of center, you're here to try on identities. You experience different versions or sides of yourself, like trying on outfits when you go into different environments, when you hang out with different people. So for you, it's making sure you're in spaces that feel right for you, that resonate with you. Then the right people will come, right place, right people. Your identity is here to be quite fluid, not to be that attached to identity because it changes, because you learn about your identity as you move through life. Love comes, direction comes. It might seem very foggy. You're not here to know your destination. You might be doing several different types of industries and jobs, and that's completely fine. Take the next step when invitation comes, strategy and authority. I'm going to go up to the head center now because this is our pressure center. So the head center, receiving all this inspiration. The question is, are you thinking about things that do not matter? And this is where your mind can be cluttered full of all of this stuff, all of these thoughts. Thinking of all of these unknowable things. What if this happened? Why did this happen? What's the question? What's the answer? And acting upon it because it feels like a pressure. But the wisdom is to learn to just witness the thoughts. We're not trying to squash the thoughts. They happen. That's fine. But we're just witnessing them come in and not acting upon them unless strategy and authority. And that pressure comes down to the ajna center to be conceptualized, to be made sense of. And there's a fear within this of, what if I don't know the answer? I don't always know. The not self is trying to become certain, trying to tell everyone that you are certain about this. This is the way to do it. This is my opinion. This is my thought. This is my idea. And thinking that will lead to your success, and it won't. Your wisdom lies in being able to see all of these different opinions, all of these different ways of thinking. We need that. So permission, you don't have to answer these unknowable questions or always know the answer. Permission is to say, I don't know. I don't know and I don't need to know. Unless strategy and authority. And finally, the throat, manifestation and communication. Now, I want to start by saying, yes, you can be an incredibly skilled communicator here. This is like a gearbox. And for you, you're learning about communicating. It's a lesson, right? So it's like you're able to switch gears. You could speak to different people in different ways. You know what they need to hear, how to say it, how to communicate. But in the not self, you might be over speaking over the top of people, repeating yourself, speaking louder than everyone else, dancing on the dance floor, whatever it is, waving your arms around. It's trying to be seen, trying to be recognized, making decisions based on, will I be seen there? Will someone see me? I need to get my love interest to recognize me, so I must dress nice, I must look nice, I must go to all of the same parties, whatever it is. These are not self-decisions. There's also a flip side of this, which is being a little bit fearful about what you're going to say, because it could be like, I don't know what I'm going to say. So you might get an invitation to go stand up on stage and your not self mind goes, I can't do that. Don't know what I'm going to say. And it can lead you off track. So we've got the true self, we've got the not self. Now we need to interrupt that. And for you as a projector, we interrupt the process of the mind with the strategy of waiting for the invitation. The invitation is a point of recognition where someone recognizes you for you. They're not recognizing you for all of this openness where you're working harder than everyone else and you're people pleasing and you're not hurting people's feelings and all of this. You're here to be recognized as an instinctual person who just takes risks, who fights for their purpose, who can empower people, who's on a very unique direction. Once you're recognized for those things and you feel recognized and seen, then it's making a decision from your inner guidance system. And for you, that is your splenic authority. Okay, your authority is splenic. So this is a moment-to-moment temperature check of whether you should take that invitation or not. It's like a gut instinct. You won't know why it's telling you to do something or not to do something. It will give you no reasons, no words. It will not say, yes, do this because it will lead to this, or don't do this because These are all the reasons. That's where the mind is. This center, when someone invites you, one of those navigation points in life, will you do this? Will you move countries? Will you take this job? Will you marry me? Is a point of navigation. And for you, you listen to your instinct. And if it's a no, it's a no. It's a little whisper. And you've got to tune into this. Okay. I hope this has been helpful and insightful, understanding some of the overview of your chart. And I look forward to seeing you in the future.